Hello friends, I'm Dr. Vinayak Pagedar. Welcome to another session on direct taxes. Now we'll be discussing section 80EEA, the newly interest section of additional deduction for the interest on housing loan. Now why I say additional deduction is because this section is over and above the deduction provided by section 24B. So that is why you'll be getting your 24B, plus you can also take the benefit of section 80EEA if you satisfy the conditions. Now why was this section introduced? The housing sector, the real estate sector was in a slump, and to bring it out of the slump, we need to create some sort of demand. The demand was thought to be created if you give an incentive to the buyer. So if we give an incentive to the buyer by telling him that, look, if you purchase a house property and we'll give you an additional deduction under this section, it will encourage the buyer to buy real estate, and thereby a demand for real estate can be created. Correct? We'll go into the depths of the section. Now let's look what it says. The first question you should always ask yourself is who should be the assessee? And here, my friends, the assessee should be an individual. But this individual should not be claiming the benefit of section 80EE. If he has been claiming the benefit of section 80EE, which is also an additional deduction for the interest on housing loan, then he cannot claim section 80EEA. So we say that the assessee should be an individual not claiming the benefit of section 80EE. Now, here the type of loan is obviously a loan taken for the acquisition. When I say acquisition, it may be purchase, it may be construction of a residential house property. So you are acquiring a residential house property by way of purchase or construction. Not a commercial property, it should be a residential property. And the deduction is the eligible interest, or rupees 1,50,000, whichever is lower. Sorry. This means that the deduction which you can claim under this section cannot cross rupees 1,50,000. Clear? Now, this was just the basic of the section. There are some additional points which one needs to satisfy. So let us look into what are the additional conditions or the additional points in relation to this section. First, the period of deduction, there's no fixed period like 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. As long as the loan is outstanding, till you keep paying the interest, you are capable of claiming this deduction. This year I have paid some interest, I could claim 80EEA in this year. Next year again I pay some interest, I could also claim the deduction in next year. So year to year, till the loan is closed, you can get this deduction. Clear? Next. Who should the lender be? Very, very important, my friends. If you want this deduction, make sure that you have taken the loan from a bank or a housing finance company. There's no such restriction under section 24B in the statement of income from house property. But 80EEA has put this restriction that if you want the deduction, you need to take the loan from a bank, a banking institution, or a housing finance company only. Take for example, I take a loan from my friend to acquire a house property in the year 1920. I can claim section 24B deduction, but I will not be able to claim 80EEA deduction, as there's a very unambiguous condition which says that the loan should be taken from a bank or a housing finance company only. Clear? Let's proceed. it's very, very important is that the loan has to be sanctioned sometime in the financial year 1920. If the loan is not sanctioned in the financial year 1920, then this deduction will not be allowed. If your loan was sanctioned in 1819, you cannot claim this deduction. The condition is that the loan is sanctioned in the financial year 1920. Now, these are the points you should look out for when you are solving this in the exam. Okay, let's proceed. The maximum loan sanctioned. This section does not put a limit on the maximum amount of loan sanctioned, but it puts a restriction on the value of the house, and it says that the stamp duty value of the house property in question should not exceed 45 lakhs. This means if you buy a house whose stamp duty value has exceeded 45 lakhs, then you can't claim deduction under this section. Are we clear? The intention of law is to give an opportunity or a tax incentive to the common man to acquire a house property, and thereby it is encouraging low cost housing. So expensive properties, like if you're buying a property whose stamp duty value is 1 crore, then you don't need this deduction. This is only for the middle class common man who wants to go into a house, and that too is targeting a low cost house. So there's a restriction on the stamp duty value that it should not exceed rupees 45 lakhs. Clear? The next 2 points are very, very important. Number 1, the next point, that is, the assessee should not own any residential house property on the date of loan sanctioned. The intention is very clear. It means that this benefit is only for those who may go into first time housing. So on the date of loan sanction, if you are the owner of a house property already, then you can't get the benefit of this section. And the last is the most important probably. The interest which is claimed as a deduction in this section should not have been claimed or should not be claimed under any other provision of the Income Tax Act. So whatever interest deduction you are taking in this section, you should not claim it under any other provision of the Income Tax Act. If you claim the deduction elsewhere, then that amount of interest cannot be claimed as deduction under this section. Now we've discussed the theory, but let us see a couple of illustrations and these points will be even more clear. Let's start. Our assessee is Mr. Ponnappan, Golden Man. He purchased a residential house property, not a commercial property. He purchased a residential house property, very good, at Calicut, and he purchased it for rupees 40 lakhs, which was also the stamp duty value of the property. So good, this is a low cost house. We have satisfied the condition that the stamp duty value is not more than 45 lakhs. It is 40 lakhs here. He has taken a loan. The loan is taken from Saraswat Bank at the rate of 9% per annum. Very good. Another condition is satisfied, that the loan is taken from a banking institution. And the loan was disbursed on 1st May 2019. Correct? It is also very clearly said that he does not own any other house property on the date when the loan was sanctioned. The loan was sanctioned on 10th April 2019. It was disbursed on 1st May, but the sanction always takes place first and then the loan is disbursed to the assessee. So very clear, the loan is sanctioned in the financial year 1920. The disbursement date is not important, the sanction date is important. The loan is sanctioned in the financial year 1920. Okay. You got to advise the assessee as far as the permissible deductions under the Income Tax Act are concerned. You are a chartered accountant, Mr. Ponnappan is your client. Please give him very good advice. Make sure he comes back to you once again. Okay, so let us start with the deduction. We are analyzing the permissible deductions under the Income Tax Act. Step 1. Let us calculate the interest. Okay. So how much was the loan? The loan was 40 lakhs. The rate of interest was 9% per annum. But my friends, in this year, the loan is outstanding only for a period of 11 months. And so the calculation of interest will be 40 lakhs into 9% into 11 divided by 12, which is 3,30,000, which is 3,30,000. 40 lakhs into 9% is 3,60,000 into 11 divided by 12 will get you 3,30,000. Now 3,30,000 is the total interest. It is the actual interest borne by Mr. Ponappan in the financial year 1920. But let us see how much deduction he can claim. The question does not mention that this property is let out. So I am assuming this is a self-occupied property. And since this is a self-occupied property, then the first 2 lakh rupees will be allowed as a deduction under section 24B in the statement of income from house property. So first, when we prepare the statement of income from house property, we'll give our deductions under section 24. 24A is the standard deduction. 24B is the interest on loan. There in the interest on loan column, we'll be putting this 2 lakhs deduction and claiming it there under section 24B. But there still is a balance of 1,30,000. Total interest was 3,30,000. 2 lakhs you already claimed in the house property statement. Balance 1,30,000. Where to claim? This can be claimed as deduction under section 80EEA of the Income Tax Act, and therefore of the total 3,30,000, 2 lakhs in the statement of house property and the balance 1,30,000 you have claimed under chapter 6A. I hope this is clear. This is how your 80EEA works together with section 24B. Okay, my friends, the same question. Let us introduce a bit of change and see whether we can handle the change. Okay, so apparently to the naked eye the question looks the same, but let us view it very clearly, very properly. Let us concentrate and read it and see what it says. It says he is still Mr. Ponappan. He has purchased a residential house property at Calicut for 40 lakhs. Fine. The stamp duty value is below 45 lakhs. Condition is satisfied by taking a loan from Saraswat Bank. Yes, the loan is taken from a banking institution. Very good. But my friends, I have changed the rate of interest. In the earlier example, it was 9%. Here, it is 10% per annum. The loan is disbursed on 1st of May 2019. He does not own any other residential house property on the date of loan sanction, and that is 10th April 2019. The loan is sanctioned in the financial year 1920. Apparently, you see everything is same except the rate of interest. Once again, you are his chartered accountants. You are his tax consultants. Ponappan is your client. He wants advice. Don't give him wrong advice, and let us see what the advice would be like. Okay, so analysis of permissible deductions under the Income Tax Act. Let us calculate the actual interest. So 40 lakhs is the loan, correct? The rate of interest is 10%. So 40 lakhs into 10% gives you 4 lakhs. And as discussed earlier, since the loan was disbursed on 1st May, we'll be incurring an interest of 11 months. So let's see how much does that come to. 40 lakhs into 10% into 11 divided by 12. It is 3,66,667 rupees. This is the total interest incurred by Mr. Ponappan. Now comes the real part where we have to advise Ponappan of the tax effects. And let us start, my friends. We'll be telling him that the first 2 lakhs, since it's a self-occupied property, the first 2 lakhs will be allowed as a deduction under section 24B of the Income Tax Act. correct, in the statement of income from house property. Now how much is the balance? The balance is 1,66,667. The question is, can the entire 1,66,667 rupees be claimed as a deduction under 80EEA? And the answer, my friends, is no, because there's a maximum limit of 1,50,000 in this section. So the excess interest over and above 24B was 1,66,667. It is capped by the maximum limit of 1,50,000. The lower of the two is 1,50,000, and rupees 1,50,000 will be allowed under 80EEA, under chapter 6A from the gross total income. So to conclude, in this example, out of 3,66,667, 2 lakhs goes in 24B, 1,50,000 goes in 80EEA, and the rest may go to hell anyway. Clear? So I hope this is clear. If you have any queries related to the section, feel free to WhatsApp me on the given number. You could also mail me on the given email, right? I request you to share this video with as many of your friends as possible. Let them also benefit from it. Do subscribe to my channel. If you like the video, please hit the like button. And I'll see you very soon. Till then, stay safe, be good, keep working hard, and we'll meet back in the best of health. Take care.